Hey guys, Crazy Cosmo coming back at you again. So, with the holidays approaching, I don't know what you celebrate, but holidays approaching, um, as with every place else, where I work has decided to turn on Christmas music. And, it's not so bad. They waited at least until December, but anyway, so we were sitting there the other day, and I was, kind of bored and zoning out, and two songs played back to back that, listening to them, put together kind of a twisted story. I mean, at least in my head. Told it to a couple other people, and nobody else has really found the same exact meaning in it that I did, but, story of my life anyway. So, the first part of the story here is the song Baby It's Cold Outside, or as I like to call it, the Christmas date rape song. For those of you who don't know, you can actually find it on television right now. Barnes & Noble uses it for their commercial. It's a duet between Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, which is creepy in its own right. But, at least the first exchange of it is basically, the girl saying, "I really can't stay." The guy says, "It's cold outside." Girl says, "I have to go away." Guy says, "It's cold outside." First of all, this guy must be a student of interrogation techniques, because the first thing they tell you is anytime you're trying to break somebody down, you always make sure you cut them off before they can decline. So every time she tries to say she's not going, he cuts her off. But anyway, I digress. So as the song goes on, it becomes more and more her no longer fighting him, and by the end of it, it kind of seems like she's sticking around. And then the next song that came on in the in the rotation was the song "Let It Snow." And me already, thinking about how twisted and kind of inappropriate "Baby It's Cold Outside" is, all of a sudden in my mind I flashed to that same character who has now succumbed to Stockholm syndrome. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's kind of a mental problem where you flip on your kidnapper and you actually start to have affection for them, and in some cases you actually fall in love with them. In this case, that would be kind of similar to exactly what I was thinking of. Now she's singing "Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow," because now she doesn't want to leave. Anyway, so that's kind of the first one. That's where this whole thing came from, of uh, holiday songs that put back to back kind of paint a story. And so I started thinking about it, and there are a couple more that came to mind. I'm sure there are a lot more out there that exist, but the second one was, if you listen to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and then directly afterwards, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. It kind of paints the story of, Rudolph's rise to fame. He, with his red nose, he's ostracized, and then he finally becomes famous, but he can't handle it and goes on a bender and ends up running over Grandma. Something like the E! True Hollywood Story, Rudolph edition. You just see it now, From humble beginnings, his red nose always caused him to be ostracized from all of the other reindeer, until one day Santa made his dreams come true. But was fame too much for poor Rudolph? Join us next time to find out. No. That sort of thing. I think that would kind of be an interesting thing to delve a little bit farther into. And then the final one, this one's kind of the one I'm the most proud of figuring out, or at least coming up with, is if you take the song "I Saw Mama Kissing Santa Claus" and then link that one to the song "Jolly Old Saint Nicholas," you kind of get a story about a dude a kid who walked in on his mom making out with Santa, and so decides to take advantage of the situation and blackmail Santa. For anybody who doesn't remember, we all know, "I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night." And they even make the joke later on in there, what a laugh it would have been if Daddy had only seen. So obviously he understands something was a little amiss there. And then Jolly Old St. Nicholas, it all starts with, "Jolly Old St. Nicholas, lend your ear this way, and don't you tell a single soul what I'm going to say." How much more forceful do you get than that? And as a kid, do you really have that much power to be making that sort of a demand to a dude like Santa Claus unless you got something on him, right? So that's just, kind of a little bit of holiday fun, kind of, from my whacked out mind and whatnot. So if you find it funny, throw me a like, throw me a share if you wouldn't mind. And hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I'll have more for you coming up pretty soon. 7 days to Star Wars.